Hello everybody, welcome to the channel. My name is JGOD, and the focus of today's video is going to be giving you the best class setup for the Vapor after all the different updates. And when I do one of these best class setups, I adjust it to account for all the different changes that happen in the game, whether that's the buff to dead silence, the nerf to acoustic sensor, the buff to the tac mask or engineer, or whatever the type of things that they change throughout the game to give you the best possible class setup for the weapon. This is actually one of my favorite weapons in the game, and I actually hadn't touched it for quite a while because I'm actually leveling up all the other weapons, trying to get all the camo challenges done. I get my dark matter. So go ahead and let me know down in the comment section below, are you grinding for dark matter as well? And then let's go ahead and get into the class setup. So for the Vapor best class setup, I'm running a suppressor, stock, rapid fire. I'm running engineer, tac mask, dead silence, comsec device. So this is what I believe to be the best Vapor class setup after all those updates. I'm going to go ahead and transition to a gameplay breakdown, but if you've enjoyed the videos so far, please remember to hit that like button. And if you're brand new to the channel, typically cover Call of Duty news, in-game updates, best class setup, subscriber breakdowns, as well as other tip and trick videos on how to improve a Call of Duty. So if any of that content is the content you typically like to watch, make sure you subscribe and turn those notifications on by ringing that bell. So let's go ahead and get into the breakdown. And what you're going to see is something a little different than I ever put on the channel. I'm actually playing in a full party. And the main reason I bring that up is because a lot of times I'll get asked, well, why don't you play in a party? Wouldn't it just be easier? And the answer is yes, it'd be way too easy. I'm actually playing with a few of my teammates, and you can see my little webcam in the top right hand corner because we were actually doing a team challenge. We were actually attempting to see if we can win a match of kill confirmed without allowing the enemy team to get a single tag. Yes, you heard that right. We're going to win a match of kill confirmed without allowing the enemy to get a single tag. So the majority of what I'm going to talk about is the strategies we used and also how you can find teammates to play with on a regular basis, because obviously if you're playing in a party, it's way easier to play this game, especially with all the specialists and positioning, the way the maps are designed. The game just ends up being way more enjoyable when you're playing in a party, whether that's a party of 2, 3, 4, 5, or in this case 6. I know there's a lot of people that just enjoy playing solo, and that's not a bad thing. One of the great things that Black Ops 4 has done, and that is to have a mercenary playlist which is specifically for solo players. But if you're one of those players that's tired of those modes and you want to jump into other modes but maybe you don't have anyone to play with, there's a lot of good options. The number one option in my opinion is when you're in a lobby and there's another good player that you feel is like skilled. There is no harm in messaging them and saying good game, you want to party up. And as you do this process on a continual basis, you'll notice your friends list filling up just a little bit more, and you'll just have more people to play with. So if you want to run in a 4-man party or a 6-man party or just a duo, that's perfectly fine. You'll be able to party up, control the map, and pretty much just win every match you're in. Another great alternative to party up is to use Reddit. And pretty much what I would do is focus on their weekly party up post or just stay connected with the rest of the community. And over time, you'll find people that you could party up with. And I mentioned that as a specific example that I've experienced because I personally have a friend that I've been playing with for over a year that I found on Reddit during Infinite Warfare. So now that the party up tips are a little bit out of the way, let's go ahead and talk about the specific match. One thing that we were trying to do, like I said, was to allow the enemy to get 0 tags. So the strategy we employed to basically post up in our spawn, make sure we got a few streaks, and then pretty much push around the map in group. The cool thing that I noticed about a challenge is because typically when I've played in parties, I find it very boring. It just ends up being too easy. You win every single match, and that's pretty much what happened. We played about 8 to 10 matches trying to get the perfect gameplay so that we could actually go flawless. We would get 60 tags, the enemy would get 0. Pretty much it would be perfect. And over the course of all those matches, we pretty much dominated every lobby. The closest ever was 12 or 13 tags that the enemy was able to get. So I know there's going to be some naysayers that come to the video and they're going to say, hey, well, you're playing in a party, whatever. Go watch any of my other videos. I don't always play in a 6-man party. This specific gameplay came about because I was asked to participate by my team. If you guys didn't know, I am a part of Carnage Clan, which is a gaming team. And pretty much I'm teammates with about 30 other YouTubers that pretty much play Call of Duty or Fortnite or some combination of the both. And this is what we kind of do to spice it up a little bit for that specific channel. I will leave a link down in the description below. It says what team I'm a part of, and it says a specific link to that channel. So if you'd like to see the flawless 60-0 from all the different perspectives, make sure you go ahead and check that out. The video will be posting very soon. So when I'm telling you that this is the best Vapor class setup and this is my favorite weapon in the game, I'm not lying to you. Think about it. If I'm going to do a challenge that is very difficult, it's a team-based oriented challenge that I have to use my best class setup and I'm going to bring that to the table, what do you think I'm going to use? The best possible class setup, right? I'm not going to be using some kind of randomness. I'm not going to be using the Cordite. Even though it's a good SMG, it's not the best weapon in the game. I believe that the Vapor is the all-around best weapon in the game, in my opinion. Obviously, the Swordfish is good, the Titan's good, the VKM is still good, even after the nerf. But at the end of the day, if I'm going to go out there and make sure I have the best opportunity to succeed, not only for myself, but for my team, I'm going to use the best class setup and I'm going to bring that to the table. And personally, why I think the weapon is so good is because the way the maps are designed. Typically, most of the maps are going to be in that medium to short range distance, and this weapon excels at both of those ranges. Obviously, if I'm going to try and shoot the guy in the top window to the left here, it's going to be a little bit of a disadvantage if they're using a long distance weapon like the Maddox or even the ICR or the Titan. I am going to be in a disadvantage in those situations. But for the vast majority of the maps, all the sight lines are much shorter than this range. Most of the sight lines are pretty much medium to short range, like I'm saying. In addition to that, the weapon has a suppressor, so when you get a flank, you're able to take out multiple people without them turning around. Obviously, if they're in a team, they'll communicate and say, hey, they're behind us, and then they'll go ahead and turn around, and then that's not good for you. But at the end of the day, a lot of times you could pull off so many nice flanks where you'll run up, get the shots, the person won't even know, and you'll start shooting the second person before he even turns around, and a lot of times you get the kill before they even turn around. And that saves you from taking a lot of damage, and you just are able to chain those streaks together that more efficiently. I did put on stock because they did nerf the strafing speed. In this game, you're going to want to make sure you're as mobile as possible. So with that additional strafe speed, you're going to be a little bit more effective. And that rapid fire allows you to close the distance against a lot of the other guns in the game. If you didn't have rapid fire on this weapon, it would easily drop down to about third or fourth best rifle in the game, and it would not be that good. As I navigate the map, I'm always staying partied up, and that's what we're doing. It's kind of like the buddy system. Like I said, you're going to travel in groups, pretty much covering this sight line here. The goal in my head is if someone comes around the corner and it's not a for sure kill, I make sure I get to cover. So obviously we're coordinating pretty well. We're traveling in groups. People got the sensor darts out. People are using their streaks efficiently, dropping ammo at the appropriate spots, communicating that out, making sure that no one gets pinched. If we need to rush a specific area, we're just playing smart, covering each other's back and seeing what is going on. Obviously, as a guy, as we come up right there, and the goal is to make sure that there's always at least one person from the pair that survives if someone dies, so you can make sure you pick up that secondary tag. I go ahead and take that guy out. I'm still on my streak, I haven't died yet. And you can see based on time, it is getting a little bit close. We still need 34 tags in approximately 3.5 minutes. And that ends up being a little bit of a time crunch towards the end of the match, which you'll see. But I'm still playing smart, just pre-aiming a lot of stuff. You can see right there, I didn't take any damage. Coming around a different angle, seeing where the enemies are. They did send out that little shock drone, so we know that they're going to switch out right here. Does look like a few people are spawning into the match because people left. A lot of times that was happening too, because when you're smacking a lobby with a full party, people tend to leave, and you're going to have to get used to that, especially if you're playing a full group. People just tend to leave. And it's not so much a big deal when you're just playing to play and you're just trying to win a match. But obviously in our scenario where we're trying to actually win the match, go flawless, don't allow them to get any tags, makes it pretty difficult when the spawns are continually flipping, new enemies are spawning in all the time. We don't know what they're going to be doing. It makes it very hectic and just increases that risk of failure that's always present. So you can see how far I am from my teammates. I don't stray off too far. I do have an idea that they're right behind me in this room, so I go ahead and reposition, just seeing if anyone's coming out of this spawn. We got the little bit of a sensor pulse, so we know it's good to go. Play a little bit aggressive, get those kills, teammates finish them up. I know there's multiple right here. I come out and the entire team knows they're all right here. So pretty much just shooting them, cleaning them all up. We go ahead and pick up all those tags, and we know the spawns are going to flip. I got that UAV. I call that in right away. And now we know there's another one coming around the corner. We go ahead and shoot him in the back. Teammates already cleaning him up. And now it's a mad rush to go ahead and get as many tags as we can, because we are running out of time. There's only about 1 minute and 50 seconds left. You can see on the screen. But we still need about 20 tags. Having the enemy leave and come back in was a continual struggle for us, because people leave and it takes maybe 30 seconds, a minute, 2 minutes for them to load back in. And then you're at risk that all 5 of them are going to spawn in at once, come around the corner, wipe out a couple of you, pick up the tags, and basically it's a failed challenge. So obviously people loading in the match are probably wondering what the heck's going on. How is it 44-0? But at the end of the day, this is pretty much what you got to do if you're going to want to complete a challenge as aggressive as this. I personally had tons of fun going for this challenge because it added so much more pressure. A lot of times, like I said, when you're playing the 6-man, it gets kind of boring just because there's usually not a lot of kills to go around, and pretty much for every match, it's never going to be close. And there are a lot of people that enjoy that. They love having their 10+ win-loss ratio, but at the end of the day, I know that's just an inflated stat. That's why I don't usually like to party up and play in a huge party, just because it ends up being too easy. But obviously in a party, when you're trying to complete a challenge, you're rushing through the map, trying to complete an objective, rushing for tags, trying to do all you can to win pretty much every gunfight, that you have to have that confidence that you need to win every single gunfight or the entire challenge is failed because of you. A lot of pressure, but it does make it very exciting and a lot of fun. So you can see right there, my teammates in the spawn. We're rushing to the other side of the map. We need a few more tags. There's only 30 seconds left. Not looking like it's going to happen. 7 tags to go. We got to wait for people to spawn in. A lot of people are leaving the match. They're obviously not going to add more people to the lobby. And then it ends up being a little bit of a wash here. We're rushing through the spawn, taking the guy out to get the tag, take the next guy out. We're so close, only 3 away, and there is no one left in the lobby. Unfortunately, we did not get the 60-0, but we still win 57-0. Flawless and kill confirmed. I know the video was a little different, but hopefully you enjoyed it or some of the tips that were included in it. If you did, remember to hit that like button. And if you're brand new to the channel, make sure you subscribe and turn those notifications on. I appreciate all the support. Thank you for watching. And as always, have a great day.